I want to introduce my process to you. What I did prior to this, which you didn't see, was I allowed myself to sit in a meditation. It was a guided meditation that was pre-recorded from a mentor that I work with personally. This meditation was specifically for trance speaking, allowing myself to find that inner balance of connecting and also transferring messages to you as well. So sitting in the power. And I asked Spirit, what would you like for me to address in this very moment? So the term healer is surfacing. That is because you are a healer. Yes, you are a healer in your own way. So healing shows up in multiple different types of ways. And also experiencing healing takes place in many different ways as well. But in order for us to be in the space where we can be a conduit or a channel or the medium or the human to pass on this healing, it is essential to allow yourself to practice quieting your energy, your aura, your mind. Now, this does not mean that you're going to shut off completely, but it is allowing yourself to find that quiet or that stillness, that connection with God, with spirit, with your angels, with your higher self, with you as a human being here on this planet Earth. So the point is that we are consistently being pulled in multiple different areas. Let's go this way. Let's get distracted with this. Let's do that. Let's click on this. Let's go to social media. Oh my God, now I forgot. So there's lots of diagnoses of ADD, ADHD. That's another story for another time. Essentially, in order for us to really hone in on this healing alchemy, this healing aspect, this healing or healer archetype, you must allow yourself to get quiet. So that means slowing down, being okay with being bored or feeling bored or thinking that you're bored, being okay with that. So hence, that's why this energy is so much slower. You may perceive it as to be. So as I'm sharing this information with you, I am now sending you Reiki energy healing because that's one of the ways that I know how to do this. So you are receiving Reiki. You don't have to do anything. If you don't want it, it won't come to you, but I do offer it to you in all ways for the highest good. It will work its magic in its own time, in its own way, and will be offered to you at a rate or frequency that you can handle best. So allowing yourself to be in this space of this healing presence, allowing yourself to quiet the mind. You know, you may have come across this knowing slightly what to expect. Maybe the image caught your attention. Maybe you don't know how this video showed up. Maybe it's perfect timing. Maybe the title caught your attention. Whatever it is here to help you in this very moment. So healing is being sent to you. Now, healing does not mean that something is wrong with you. Because essentially it's something that is necessary for all of us, because being a human, being stuck in this body, more or less, this physiological state of being, we also experience emotions, feelings, thoughts. We feel like we're stuck and our thoughts and our brains having to go back and forth. Should I do this? Should I not do this? This tug and pull, this what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? This constant state of this back and forth, this ebb and flow. So Spirit is here to remind you that this is essential to experience. That's basically what the human is here to do, is just to experience. But essentially, at the end of the day, per se, it is truly all about love. All of the near-death experience stories that I have watched and witnessed and taken into myself as I listen to it audibly, energetically, time and time again, the message is that it's all about love. We are here to have this, again, experience. And I say all of this with a calm demeanor, but in my own experience, it's not always calm, is it? I've cried my eyes out. I've experienced anxiety attacks. I've experienced thoughts of not feeling in my body, perhaps even wanting to get out of my body, wanting to remove myself from this experience. So as I bring this up, Spirit is wanting me to bring this up, or is having me bring this up, because this is what it's all about. But pain is inevitable. Emotional pain, psychological pain, emotional, I said it twice, right? Physical. But suffering doesn't have to be necessary or prolonged suffering. So I am aware that there's so much pain happening in this world, of course. We are aware of this based off of the news that maybe you watch, social media, what you hear from friends, loved ones, in your business, where you work. You are taking in this information, and even hearing it directly affects you. But allowing yourself to be this healer that you are, allowing yourself to recognize that you do indeed have the power to transform this energy, to send loving energy to whatever it is, even at a distance. So as I am sending you healing right now, maybe you can feel it, maybe you've been closing your eyes, maybe you've been watching, taking it in, feeling it, allowing for it to expand. You can do this as well. I don't feel that you have to be a Reiki practitioner. It can be a different form of healing. It can just be with pure intentions. One thing that Spirit wants me to share with you is try not to allow your own thought or perspective to transform the situation in a way that you personally feel is best, and instead just allow yourself to have the intention of sending the pure energy and allow it to do its own thing. Some people will direct the energy into the earth. To me, I had this profound dream once where, not visualization, not like an awakening, not like an awake visualization, but an actual dream state where I was helping my friend heal. And I asked, okay, so where do I direct this energy? If there's an excess amount of negative energy, quote unquote, where should I send this energy? Do I send it down the toilet? Do I send it into the earth? What do I do with it? And the answer that I received was, send it to the light. The light can handle everything and anything. And so that's what I do. So as I send the energy, the healing, I ask for it to, as necessary, be transformed and sent to the light as well. So this doesn't mean transitioning after death or anything like that. I know that maybe that's what's popping up in your mind. Oh, we tell those that perceive to be stuck on this world after they pass, go to the light. I'm thinking of the poltergeist, go to the light, Caroline. And yes, that's part of it as well. But I'm speaking of the information or the energy rather that you're sending to someone, or if you're working with someone directly as a client, or if you're working with your child or connecting with a loved one, if it's not at a distant, if you're per se extracting unnecessary energy or attachments of some sort, then you can allow for that energy to be sent to the light. Now, attachments, I mentioned that because Spirit wanted me to mention it. I don't quite understand what that means logically, but it was brought to me to tell you about this. Now, to me, it's just sort of like what I talked about earlier. When we hear something, when we take in information visually, auditorily, I don't think that's a word, audibly, we take in the energy of that. So essentially, everything has its own energy. And so we can store that in our being, in our essence, in our aura, especially if it's something that we perceive as traumatic, or even if it's direct trauma to us, physically, emotionally, psychologically. So the energy there, that can be perceived as an attachment, something that you don't necessarily want, or you might not even be aware of subconsciously or consciously. So those are per se the attachments that Spirit is bringing to your attention. And so as a healer, as you are, you can be a nurturer, a nurse, a teacher, a mother, a father, a nature whisperer. um, you know, we are healers here on this earth, and we have a choice to use that healing aspect, that healing archetype. So you get to choose. You don't have to constantly be on it. I'm a healer, I need it, I think again with the human aspect of this as well, we must receive the healing as well as be a conduit and offer that as well. So it's very important that Spirit wants me to tell you this, is that the energy is not your personal energy. Instead, you're allowing for your being, the physical or the physicality of your being, as a direct conduit. So it helps streamline the healing, per se. It helps, I wanted to use the word stagnant, but that's not right. It's just like a streamline. It's like a bow and arrow. It's like a direct connection to what it is that you're trying to do, rather than it being dispersed. Like light can be dispersed in many, many different particles, and so it starts to just kind of vast out. It can be more vast, or it can be like a direct line of light. So like when you take a magnifying glass and you hold it over something, you may have seen this before, where like, little kids, I'm thinking of like, I'm going back to like the 60s or the 50s, where they take this magnifying glass and like they burn the ant. Ah. Um, of course, we're not burning anyone, but it's the same idea. So you're allowing yourself as a prism to direct the energy. Now, again, you're not using your own thoughts. You're just allowing yourself to be that conduit, to be that channel, to be that medium, to be that healer. So you just set the intention. And so what I say is, I ask to send healing and always for the highest good. I ask to be a conduit for healing to this situation or to this person, and always for the highest good. Oftentimes I send Reiki, which is what I've learned to do. I've been attuned to Reiki. But again, I don't feel like that's necessary. Although if you're interested in that, then you can reach out to me about also becoming a Reiki practitioner. I may have that as an option as well. Yes. Okay. So you've been receiving healing as I've been talking to you. Hopefully you've been allowing yourself, or maybe you've noticed that you have felt this sense of calm, this sense of ease, this sense of I don't know, maybe you felt subtle vibration, maybe you felt relaxation, maybe you felt hyped up a little, maybe you felt like you needed to move on, but something kept you here. So, this is the transference of energy. This is the transference of healing. It is happening in all ways for the highest good. So, as always, please pay attention to your own intuition, which is essentially your higher self, guiding you in all ways for the highest good, and to take action upon that guidance. Because what happens is oftentimes when we're feeling stuck, it's because the energy is just swirling. It's just swirling, it's swirling, it's swirling. It needs someplace to go. It needs someplace to go. So action is what needs to take place. Anything different than what you're doing. Anything different. So action can even be meditation, right? Action can be stillness, especially if you're feeling frantic. So it's just a different movement, it's a different energy. So if this was helpful, please like this, share this, subscribe to my channel as Tabitha Stitt, the self-help psychic, and I will continue to tap into what is most helpful. And let me know, what do you want to see next in these videos? How can I best help you? What would you like me to share with you? What are the messages? What are the meanings of these different messages? All right, thank you for listening, and so it is.